Hello guys and welcome to Total War Rome 2 with our next PvP. This one is a 1v1 between me and Narfi. We picked the Imperator Augustus era for this one, where we both picked two different Romes. As you can see, I picked Antony's Rome, and I believe he picked Pompey's Rome. So we have much different available units to us based on the default Rome's auxiliaries and some of the base units as well. One thing I love about picking Antony's Rome is access to auxiliary Syrian archers. I fucking love that shit. So I made sure to bring like 4 of them. Actually, no, there's Cretan archers in here too, so I brought 2 and 2. The Syrians because they're tanky, and then the Cretans because their actual bowmanship is technically better. As you can see, I have a lot of my units just kind of stacked up in the woods here. Not the smartest looking thing, I just didn't want him to know what else was coming, and this was a good way to do it. There's a lot of stuff packed in here, mainly veteran legionnaires, my legatus general, nice and cheap, legionary cavalry, of which we have 3 by the looks of it, the archers themselves. I got the tankier ones out on the front because I want them to use their ammo first, and maybe be targets for enemy cavalry, since they're tankier and they can kind of withstand some beating. Praetorian Guard out here in the front in some galleries, which will protect them as they move up with the other forces to provide buffs, and a fuck ton more veteran legionnaires, all in heavy towers. Let's go ahead and hit play. As you can see, I took a pretty one-sided approach to an attack where we could have taken from the west, the northwest, the north primarily, and then even all the way over in the east. I put everything going towards this one gate. When he saw me do this and I told him I was ready, he said, "Really? That's what you're doing?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I didn't expect that from you." So clearly he thought this was a bad strategy. But in my opinion, this is a damn good strategy because I know what I'm going into. These are barbarian walls, so there's no choke points to worry about. If I attack here, we see some cavalry movement coming out of this other gate. 2 legionary cavalry, just like I have 3 of. But if I put everything to this one gate, I can try to overwhelm it. I only really have to worry about this, maybe also this arrow tower at first. And then if I capture this area, I can have a moment where literally nothing is shooting at me for the most point. And then it focuses him to either focus everything he has here, which with arrow towers captured or neutralized, means that I have a sheer point advantage and thus more and better units available to me to win the fight because I'm the attacker, or he has to spread out and lay a tiered defense, meaning this entrance will fall to me no matter what. But as we can see, he has sent 2 legionary cavalry out here to try to copy he told me, to try to copy my flanking tactics that I always do with cavalry. So I sent all 3 of my legionary cavalry out here to mess with him a little bit, while my towers, my heavy towers, very slowly move their way closer and now start coming under fire from the arrow towers, minimal fire. The veteran legionnaires aren't too afraid. I sent 1 cavalry after each of his, which have begun retreating way off east into the distance where there is nowhere to go, nowhere for them to run or hide. I sent the other one over here, assuming he tried to run back into his gate. Over here we have some of the towers about to make contact and get the troops in. We still don't see anything he has aside from some barricades back here past the gate itself. At this point, I kind of realized he was just going to send the cavalry all the way out here and never stop them. So what I end up doing is sending my cavalry back because there is nothing over here. Yeah, I'm giving the order right now. If we run over here, then yeah, I'll kill the cavalry, but my cavalry will be so far away that it will take forever to get them back. I'd rather just lure them into a trap of some kind and make them run some more, because I don't know what he was thinking by sending them out here. And according to him, he didn't know what he was thinking either. According to him, he just realized when they got to about this point, oh God, I have nowhere to go. Thank God he's running away. But I ran away to try to lure him out and fight him in more favorable conditions. Anyway, we have begun landing here. Holy shit. Taking a lot of pylon throwing into our units that are coming out. Oh, and he's charging in. He decided no more pylon throwing. He's charging in to intercept me and try to stop me. We've landed over here as well, and he has some legionnaires of his own. Damn, he loves those pylon charging in, but with my veteran legionnaires, we are bound to win by itself. I've sent some Syrian archers up to bombard some of his regular legionnaires nearby that are not currently engaged in combat. We have 2 landings over here, 1 legionnaire, now a legionary cohort is moving up to intercept them. The cohort actually seeming to just want to block the way. The final siege tower is landing. As you can see, my cavalry have returned, and his is going back to this gate as expected. We can see a lot of stuff that he has here now. Let's slow it down and take a better look at it. We see he has Praetorian Guard behind these barricades, some gladiator spearmen, interesting. He's got 2 levy archers behind that, mercenary hoplite in the rear, Praetorian Guard further in the rear. What is this? He's charged mercenary hoplites into this landing unit, in addition to the legionnaires, so he's got us kind of surrounded over here. The legionnaires that are under fire have moved up closer to the fight here, and thus are closer to the action, but are still being bombarded as we speak. More mercenary hoplites moving forward, breaking down the fences as they go. He has, more Praetorian Guard and 2 legionary cohorts moving forward. He has a lot of very elite infantry and then very not elite infantry, and this is something key to a lot of his army compositions that we will be seeing a lot more of. My Praetorian Guard have moved forward, but not yet made their move. I am now sending reinforcements up. The rest of my veteran legionnaires are starting to move up closer where they can actually land and start taking part. My 2nd Syrian archer over here is firing on the enemy legionnaires that are engaging us in combat, since we can kind of get some shots over them into the rear. Thought that would be a good idea. Looks like we have 2 veteran legionnaires here. Okay, I don't know how that happened. Oh, because I landed 2 towers right next to each other. Don't know how I did that or why. But we have one of them charging forward to engage this legionary cohort. And I probably want this one for flanking tactics. I don't quite know what I'm doing with that yet. Over here, we have veteran legionnaires fighting the flanks of these legionnaires that have attacked my legionnaires that are currently amidst all these hoplites. We do have our veteran legionnaires over here that have died completely, but the enemy legionnaires are still under range fire from us. They did attack us with 3 different units, and there was an arrow tower, so it makes sense that we lost that unit just there. That's why we have reinforcements moving forward. The archers are getting some stuff done. Cavalry still minding their own business. I'm amazed. I just kind of have these in the side here. I didn't spread them out. They're fighting in like a column. Not the most efficient, but I was really messing around with my micro. We have some fighting here, though. Oh, never mind. I'm getting to it now. Yeah, I'm reforming, probably to charge into the side of them, if I had to imagine. Either charge into the side of them, or throw a pylum at them. I'm not quite sure what I'm going with yet. Oh, there's the pylum. Holy hot fucking damn. Alongside the archers at the same time with the arrows. And now we're charging into their rear with a much better formation. Hell fucking yes. Now they are completely surrounded and losing decisively. Over here, this veteran legionnaire is still hopelessly surrounded on every side by all the enemy units. This legionnaire is still not in a very good position. These ones still engaging the legionary cohorts. One of his legionnaires here retreating after intense archer fire from my Syrian archer auxiliaries. My general has moved up along with the Praetorian Guard. Still not out, but I am moving them up to start getting them out because I'm realizing we're very close to taking the gates. We've now killed this one unit that we were fighting. I've now charged in another veteran legionnaire to overwhelm the front of this cohort, and I am moving this one as a column, or I'm trying to move them anyway, through here. Looks like that movement failed, or I might have given them another order. But I think I was trying to move them forward to kind of get around. Don't know what happened to that. He has dogpiled so many units. It's one veteran legionnaire. I'm amazed that it's holding out. We have another veteran legionnaire climbing up this tower here and getting into the action. He's already charging some legionnaires out of the combat here to go get ready for them. And another one is coming up behind the flanks to join in here with mercenary hoplites waiting in these weird formations for them. Another veteran moving forward where these mercenary hoplites will meet them. Looks like he charged these forward. From where? I don't know, but they've kind of gotten around on these ones that are now fighting on 2 sides of a column. 2 legionary cohorts are waiting for us in the rear. Praetorian Guard is still waiting back here. He's got his levies firing on us now in this big horde. But we are overwhelming the legionary cohorts for the time being. They will fall shortly. I decided not to go around and risk the wrath of the archer tower yet. His cavalry, he is sending one of them forward, and I actually saw this. I imagined he was going for these auxiliary Syrian archers, which as we can see are out of ammo. So I decided to leave them here, hoping he would fall for the bait of charging down very armored archers that have no ammo, so have pretty much done their job. Because if I can swap them there, all right, here we go. I have them moving back now to lure him further out, and I'm sending in one of my cavalry so that he can see an interception coming, trying to see if I can stop him there. We charge on into him. Okay, we make contact. That was successful. I have my Cretan archers now firing into the rear of the legionary cavalry, and another legionary cavalry moving forward to join in this fight now that we have trapped them in such an efficient way. The ammo and the combined cavalry combined on both sides now, I figure, will make quick work of them. Speaking of quick work, we made quick work of the legionaries that came to meet our veterans, but now legionary cohorts are throwing pylum and charging in on our veteran legionnaires, unfortunately. Looks like we broke through here. We are now going to capture, well, we're overwhelming the hoplites on this side. We're going to capture the gate here. I've charged forward 2 veteran legionnaires that are not very healthy to meet the enemy Praetorian Guard and Gladiator Spearmen up close to stop them from charging in and doing anything else. The enemy General Legatus has shown himself, and more Praetorian Guard. He went all in on the elite units. My healthier units have overwhelmed and swarmed his legionnaires on this side. We are completely dominating this side. I've chosen to spill over and fight him over this region, where he's kept his, well, overall, I guess, weaker units compared to all Praetorian Guard. Make contact now that we have this region kind of secured, and looks like it is working. In fact, this cavalry is about to die with minimal losses on our sides from all units. So that is 1 down and 1 to go if everything goes according to plan. These legionnaires taking some fire from the tower, which is part of why I wanted to secure over here, because there is a tower threatening me. Not really up here. My very weak unit that was over here, veteran legionnaires fighting the spearmen and levy archers, has died. Looks like the Legatus is running away there, probably gave buffs. So I charged in a brand new, fresh, never seen combat before veteran legionnaire to meet them in combat, knowing that they would outmatch them in every way. Here you can see me kind of moving my cavalry back, kind of trying to get away from any range fire, and kind of, I'll try to make another opening, if I remember correctly, for the legionary cav he has remaining to show up. I have my Praetorian Guard now charging in over the breach, not through the gate, over the breach they took. But my buffing elite infantry are now moving forward, where I imagine they'll be very helpful. Now that we've overwhelmed this side and crushed almost everything he had here, 2 of the units are now moving back around to form more of a united front against his large front of combined out-of-ammunition skirmishers and front line supported by Praetorian Guard. And here I have them already charging in through the barricade, going to each flank as it would seem. However, this veteran legionnaire looks like it just faltered against the Praetorian Guard. No surprise there, especially with the range fire they were taking earlier. This veteran legionnaire is going toe-to-toe with this legionary cohort. And this one veteran legionnaire going toe-to-toe with a legionary cohort and a Praetorian Guard that is facing the wrong way. Interesting rookie mistake. These legionnaires that routed a while have routed a while ago. He's moving his legionary cavalry into the base for now. We still have auxiliary Syrian archers with ammo that are currently firing into the sides and rears of the Praetorian Guard and legionary cohorts that are piled up here. Looks like he is reforming his Praetorian Guard finally. They were in that unfortunate situation for a while. I have an interesting formation here myself. But I have moved a Praetorian Guard up here to the front to support my veteran legionnaires now, finally, I should have done this earlier, to give them morale bonuses so that they are less susceptible to breaking. So that, you know, we've been going up against buff like that the whole time. I put him in a perfect position where I would be able to provide buffs to everyone on the front. He is moving mercenary hoplites to the front and more Praetorian Guard to the rear. This is where his whole heavy amount of units are. So what I have here is honestly pretty light, but I'm actually going ahead and moving all 3 of my cavalry in here, as well as my auxiliary Cretan archers that have still a lot of ammo and are my best ranged units, because I've only been using the auxiliary Syrian archers for the time being, so that they can provide range supports within the safety of the walls, because now I see his cavalry is actually moving back outside. I've already sent somewhere one of the archers in to join melee combat. I've sent one of the legionary cav to flank this legionary cohort. Already perfect flanking tactics going on here. The other Praetorian Guard went over to this side to join this battle to try to wipe out his legionary cohort and Praetorian Guard, supporting this veteran legionnaire, because I figured one would be needed over there. We have the Legionary Cav charging away from here. I was tempted to go around, but I decided not to at some point. Here's the auxiliary Syrian archers that are out of ammo, and I plan to get them some reinforcements soon because their melee support just died. But whereas my side over here against his Praetorian Guard is collapsing, his side over here against my Praetorian Guard, who have joined the fray, is collapsing. And now I'm even charging to get his Praetorian Guards in the rears. Oh, some amazing pylon throws out here. And we can see his Legionary Cavalry has charged out and around and is going for this auxiliary Syrian archer, which does still have ammo, but was almost out. Realizing that this finally worked, I tried to lure him back as far as possible for the time being. And he charges right into them. The moment he fell for the trap, I started charging out this Legionary Cavalry to flank right into them, so it would be the auxiliary Syrians that were almost out of ammo, heavily armored and ready for this kind of thing, supported by cavalry, flanking him in the rear to hopefully get rid of his final cavalry, while mine were busy finishing up their flanking tactics, which were going swimmingly. This Praetorian Guard is still here, but his support, his cohorts, I believe, are now dead. So this side is pretty much collapsed now. He's dedicated everything over here. I've gotten one veteran legionnaire in an interesting formation front against the Praetorian Guard. His frontline Praetorian Guard over here have finally died. These veteran legionnaires have been freed up. My general Legatus is on the front providing buffs. Mercenary Cretan archers over here providing range support now with their amazing range stats. My Praetorian Guard have engaged on a front up here against the mercenary hoplites. Interesting choice. His Legatus is slowly moving forward for some reason. Yeah, we've dominated this side. I'm moving forward with injured veteran legionnaires to capture this tower, while also keeping an eye on these legionnaires over here. As we can see, yep, the cavalry have gotten in on the rear of his legionary cavalry. The auxiliaries, Syrians are dying a little bit, but they were at the end of their ammo anyway, so I wasn't really too concerned with that. It is highly saving the lives of my cavalry, which are getting a lot of good flanking in right now that is proving invaluable to me and my tactics. Like, right over here, we have a flanking asking to happen. Don't know when I'm going to do it. Now I'm going to do it. Here we go. Woo! Bam! Right into the fucking Praetorians, running them over. That's why I want to save my cavalry. They were proving very handy. My other Praetorian Guards, basically untouched. Legionary Cavalry over here, all that's supporting them because everything else has moved forward. Both veteran Legionnaires to wipe out his Legionnaire over here, as well as capture this arrow tower, fully securing my entrance zone, which is perfect. All the auxiliary Cretan archers now firing at the Legatus with their massive range stats, which, as we can see, has his general routing and honestly probably dead. Yeah, they're gone for good. Exactly why I wanted to save these Cretan archers, and it worked perfectly. We've crushed this front line of hoplites, and now the Praetorian Guard are waiting for us. So I charge forward my Praetorian Guard. His may be fresh, but they're very shaken. Due to army losses, their morale is bad, and we still have ammo. And either everything just routed, or he surrendered. But I think it was everything routing. I don't know, it's hard to tell. But that is the end of the battle. And just like that, Antony's Rome has crushed Pompey's. And we can see definitely interesting army comps here. As we can see, he brought, a lot of legionary cohorts, some legionnaires. Only 2, actually. 4 Praetorian Guards to my 2. Let's see what really did it for him. That one legionary cavalry that got to charge on the archers at the end got a lot of kills, but I did intentionally sacrifice them. I believe it was this one. Yeah, I believe it was this one. They didn't get a lot of kills because they were usually firing at heavier targets the entire battle. The other one had not died yet, despite being in melee combat. They were fleeing, though. They got plenty of kills. The Cretans had only just begun firing, so their kills weren't that great, but they killed the general, which completely turned the battle in our favor, which was fantastic. As we can see, most of the kills came from my frontline wave here of veteran legionnaires, who did so much good work up on the front, supported by their Praetorian Guard, who, while arriving late to the fight, and late to the combat, because they were initially just used for buffs, got kills to match the veteran legionnaires, which is amazing. One of my legionary cavalry actually didn't see combat at all, so I actually managed to save one just in case. I think I was saving one for a flanking tactic around the south, if I remember correctly. And my Legatus suffering no deaths, getting no kills, but performing buffing the entire time. On his side, other than that cavalry, we have a couple legionnaires here that wiped out some pretty good kills, especially the Praetorian Guards, although this one doing way better than the others. I'm willing to bet this is the one that got all my dead units and my archers thrown into it. That's probably where a lot of those kills come from, but Praetorian Guards should be covering their own weight either way. I'm kind of amazed to see how little these Praetorian Guard got to do because they were saved in the rear the whole time rather than performing any flanking tactics or spreading the battle out. But as we can see with the kills to losses, it wasn't really a close battle. But of course, we are all still learning, especially Narfi, who this is his first Total War game. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this battle. I will be posting these videos every Thursday for as long as they last while pacing out our other content. If you ever want to join in any battles or talk to us about them, join our Gilded Community server in the description below. And with that, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you're excited because I believe we have a 2v2 next week, and I'll see you then.